So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iPhone SE is back. Yes, the 2020 iPhone SE. Welcome to the unboxing. What I'm gonna do first is just kind of talk about some of the key specs. We're not gonna go over all of them because I know you want to see what's inside. A 4.7-inch Retina display, 12 megapixel camera, up to 4K 60, 3 gigs of RAM, Apple A13 Bionic 1821 milliamp hour battery, and of course an Apple GPU. Let's go ahead now and kind of just take off this little pull tab right here. And you can see I do have the 128 gigabyte product red. Do yourself a favor, if you're getting the iPhone SE, consider the product red, as Apple will be donating proceeds to COVID-19. Definitely a good cause here. And taking off the box, I think there was a commercial, reveals ourselves some paper. I think there was a commercial earlier today talking about how fun it is to just peel that plastic off the iPhone SE. But you can see right there, product red. Definitely talks about the partnership with them. And over here, you can see welcome to iPhone. Nothing really new here. Ring silent switch. Do we not know how to use this type of iPhone at this point? We don't need to talk more about that. You can see a SIM card tool showing you what that's for, warranty information, and of course the glorious Apple stickers. Thumbs up if you would have liked to see some red Apple stickers down below. So here is the glorious iPhone SE in product red. Just have a look really quickly. Just a beautiful glass device on the rear. You can see Apple did bring the logo down a bit, so no longer does it say iPhone there. It's just gonna say Apple, an Apple logo right there. That's a little bit different from the iPhone 8. We'll show that later. And you can see on the front, basically, well, it's the iPhone 8 again. Let me go ahead and bring the mic in for the plastic peel though. Yes, that was satisfying. You only get that once. Let me go ahead and boot this thing up. And while we're booting it up, we're gonna see what else does come in the box right here. So the iPhone SE, the 2020 edition, does come with some headphones here. You can see that they are Lightning headphones. No thanks, I'd rather use the AirPods, but at the same time, it's nice that they're included if you don't have a set of Bluetooth headphones. Now you can see right here, Apple is sticking with the Lightning port. Once again, I would still like to see USB-C on future iPhones. And the smallest charger that comes with a new phone today. This is just straight sewage right here. This is scum, aka trash. This is a slow charger right here. And honestly, it doesn't really matter. That's the point. And why doesn't it matter? Because of the price of this phone. I'm just saying, like, that is a weak sauce charger in 2020. But at the same time, at this price, who cares? So we're now heading into the iPhone SE product red. You can see you have to click your region wherever you are at, and then you can go ahead and set up manually. And here is the important thing about this. If you didn't want Face ID, you still have a new iPhone you can purchase with Touch ID. And Apple has basically nailed this technology. And I think with the A13, it might feel even faster. We'll see what happens going forward in the review process of this phone. And then you'll be prompted with Apple Pay. We'll set that up later in Wallet. Then it'll ask you to set up Siri. I'll set that up later as well. One of my favorite things about this phone is the return of Touch ID. Well, at least to a newer device. We can hit continue right here. And you can see display zoom makes the icons pretty large if you want them that way. And here we are. We are now in the iPhone SE 2020, aka the revived iPhone 8. That's basically what I'm feeling so far with this phone. Okay, so let's explore the device a little bit more. So you can see that the bezels are back with this one. So pretty chunky bezels at the top and the bottom. Shouldn't aggravate mostly anyone really, considering the price of this phone at $399. But there are phones in this price range that do not give you bezels like that, but you're getting the fast chip in here. So it doesn't seem like it's bothering anybody at this point. You can see we also do have True Tone on here. Came with the iPhone 8. Love that feature. When you do use it, you'll see why. It does adjust the display to your liking depending on the lighting conditions you are in. You can see silent switch is right there where we are used to it. The volume rockers in the same place as the iPhone 8. Over here at the bottom, you can see that the lightning port is silver. There's like a silver insert around here. The Torx screws on the left and right are definitely pretty similar, and no headphone jack with this one, of course. And you can see right here at the top, 12 megapixel 4K 60 eyesight camera. I'm excited to test this one out. Looks very tiny compared to a lot of the camera bumps we see in 2020. And that flash is underneath the glass. Pretty clean design down. The product red is the only one that does have any kind of logo below the Apple logo. And so at the top of the iPhone SE, extremely thin, basically nothing up there. Now on the right side, you can see the power button. This doesn't double as Siri button on here. That will be your home button. And we do have our SIM card tray right there. So you can see Touch ID is back and it's fast as it's always been. No big changes here. And so I want to go ahead now and show you the amount of storage that comes with this 128 gigabyte out of the box. So you can see 12.7 GBs used. So that gives you exactly 115.33 gigabytes out of the box before you install basically anything on here. Now, the iPhone SE from 2020 is shipping with iOS 13.4.1, which is basically the latest version as of the recording of this video. But if you do buy this later in the year, when a newer batch of these are manufactured and there's a newer iOS version out, depending on when you're watching this video, you might have a different version of iOS out of the box. So let's take a look at the wallpaper selection of this device. Now you can see that there's like 6 new wallpapers here, and I think it really depends on the color you go with, which one will match it better. This is pretty awesome because I like when there are special wallpapers for each iPhone. It gives your phone a unique look if you use that particular wallpaper versus just the basic ones that come with every other iPhone. And so let's discuss really quickly one of the downsides of this phone. It's going to be the battery size. However, because this is such an efficient chip, the A13, I expect this to get through most people's standard workday, but I don't think this is going to beat things like the iPhone 11, but we'll be seeing how it does in the real world later on. So let me know what kind of battery stuff you want to know about this phone before I do the full review. And let's take a quick look at the speed of this device. You can see it's going to be extremely fast with that A13 Bionic. I mean, Apple could have put the A12 in here and this thing still would have been a great seller and a lot of people probably would have bought it, but A13 Bionic is the latest chip and everything is just going to fly on this phone. And you just have a feeling of familiarity with this device when you hold on to it. It doesn't have the Face ID, none of that stuff, but it feels familiar. It feels classic iPhone, and I think a lot of people are gonna love that. And so let's have a quick look at this camera for the iPhone SE. I do like how this thing is a single camera. Reason why I like that is because it's very simple to use. You don't have to think about, do I use the wide angle? Do I use the telephoto? It's just point and shoot. And that's pretty nice and simple. And I think that's going to be pretty appealing to some people. You can also change the video settings right here from video. That's also something you don't see in some other iPhones. Pretty neat. You get slow-mo, time-lapse, everything you're used to. Portrait mode is here as well. This is a little bit different from iPhone 8. You can now use the portrait camera on this single lens, unlike some older iPhones. So really nice. You don't need a plus anymore to get that feature. On the front, you also get a 7 megapixel camera, which is not quite as sharp as the 12 megapixel, but I expect it to be pretty good as well. And you can see that you're not getting 4K on the front though. So this doesn't have 4K 60p on the front camera. Keep that in mind. And that's a difference you'll see between this and something like the iPhone 11, for example. Okay, so overall, my feelings on this so far are this phone is a great budget option for people who want an iPhone that's just not going to cost them $600, $700, even $1,000. It comes at a good time when people need a cheaper device at this current time that we're going through as a society. However, I will state I'm not getting that same feeling I got with the iPhone SE in that it's a super compact powerhouse. Now, it is a compact powerhouse, but if you actually look at some other phones, like an S10e, for example, you can see that body is not that much different in size. So this is not the super compact the SE was, but it's still smaller than pretty much every other iPhone. And let's take a look at how this looks compared to some older devices that you may have or you might be upgrading from. How about the iPhone 6? Now the big change will be the back of these phones, but this is essentially the same design philosophy as the iPhone 6. Let's also take a look now at the iPhone 8, which is also very similar phone here. You can see the Apple logo does come down and it is larger. However, no iPhone logo no more, but the camera bumps look pretty much the same on both of these, and these devices are essentially the same device. So if you're loving your iPhone 8, you probably don't need to do this upgrade right now unless you want to keep this design going forward. Some people are actually going to be going down in size from the iPhone XR, and this just looks like a baby XR with some bezels and Touch ID, to be quite honest with you. The XR definitely is a beautiful phone though. Take a look at the SE next to the beast, the 11 Pro Max, and yeah, well basically it fits in the screen of that phone. So yeah, this is a monstrous phone compared to the SE 2020. And of course, we'll take a look at it next to the 5S. Anybody out there upgrading from 5S, comment below. But you can see the 5S actually will fit in the screen of the SE. So definitely you can see that not the super compact that the 5S and the SE were, but it is thinner on the sides, which is nice. Let's take a look at it next to the iPhone 10. You can see that body is not that much larger for the iPhone 10, but the screen feels a lot more of a reach versus the SE, which is a lot smaller. And lastly, I want to take a look at it next to a competitor in the same price range, the Galaxy A51. Now this phone is going to run around the same price, and look at the difference here. You can get a big, more modern looking budget Android device with multiple cameras, or you can get a fast chip with older design iPhone. Really, it's going to come down to what you prefer. And so later, I'm going to give you a full in-depth review on everything I've learned about this phone. We do have speed tests coming. Make sure you get what you want to see down below in the comments section of this video. So the SE can be summed up in 3 features, really. Bosch chip, it's the A13 CPU. We have pretty old looking hardware, but still acceptable for this price range. And also an improved camera. Other than that, it's classic iPhone 8 style device, and it's selling extremely well. I can see a lot of people who bought bigger iPhones just want the new chip, want a more modern iPhone, and Apple is pushing this on the main screen of the Apple website. I expect this to sell extremely well. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't already. We have iPhone SE continuing coverage all this week and next week, so be subscribed for that. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.